in the brilliant novel turned into a very powerful movie that I watched last fall while I was at on my 3-month, retreat at my musician ex's man I've been friends with now for, God, close to 20 years. Called, anyway, but I think he told me how to pronounce it, Ayn Rand, or it's not Ayn Rand, I always said Ayn Rand, it's Ayn Rand, something like that. Anyway, called The Fountainhead. It doesn't matter if I mispronounce her name, okay? I think it's Ayn Rand, not Ayn Rand, Ayn Rand, I believe. Anyway, the lead character absolutely refuses to compromise his principles, his individuality, okay? He does not tell any of you, anybody, any person around him, any person on this planet, how that person should live his, her life. And yes, I'm well aware that you don't have to say his, her. And especially in writing, you don't want to keep saying his, her, his, her, his, her, but sometimes I do, for emphasis, say his, her, okay? The lead character in The Fountainhead does not tell any person on this planet how that person should live his, her life. He expects the same consideration and, doesn't get it, does he? No. And in the end, he actually, rather than compromise his individuality in any manner whatsoever, he chooses to potentially go to prison for a long time. That's the extent that he valued his individuality above all else, and he risked prison rather than compromise his individuality. Okay? And I want to stress, he didn't try to force his beliefs down anybody else's throat. He had the motto, live and let live. He just wanted the same consideration. And of course he didn't get it. Fantastic movie. Fantastic. I never read the book. My friend did. He read the book. He had the movie. We watched it because I wanted to. It looked really interesting to me. Anyway, I talked with him last night for 4 hours and 15 minutes. 8:10 p.m. to 12:25 a.m. So he was worth, I had planned to go to bed earlier. I had my stuff all set up. I had my window all blocked with the sheets and the towels and the boxes and everything to make it as black in here as possible. As dark, pitch dark, pure, just, and then I didn't go to bed again till 1:30. But that was worth it. I hadn't talked to him since I moved in here. We've communicated with emails. I talked to him briefly when I wanted him to try to, right at the beginning, figure out why. My mom seemed fine. She was in one hospital. I'm coming home today. Marion's coming to get me. And all of a sudden, she's back in another hospital. I didn't know where she was. And I didn't know she was back in another hospital. I thought maybe she might be ignoring me for some reason or whatnot. So I had him call over, and he did it, and he didn't reach her either. But I gave him a break from me because he couldn't deal with the, it's not that he can't deal with it. He doesn't want to. He has his own shit going on. He doesn't want to deal with my, air quote, my drama. Even though it isn't, it's not superficial drama, and I reached out to him because who the hell else do I have to reach out to? I I have you guys, but you can't, you know, it's not the same thing. You're not talking to me on the phone. I mean, I prefer to have somebody right here who cares about me hugging me, but I'll settle for the phone, you know. But I gave him a break in any case. And like I said, I periodically will, you know, cry on my roommate's shoulder just when something new happens, but I don't burden my roommate either, and I wouldn't, you know. I just explain myself if I'm crying in his car, you know. And I'm only in his car if he's taking me someplace I've asked him to take me, you know, to Walmart or Target or the market, or, you know. We're going to watch Dallas Buyers Club tonight. I want to see it. I don't know anything that much about my roommate, so I wouldn't know if he wanted to see it, but he told me last week. I said, it was on my list, and he didn't choose it, but it was on my list, and I said, would you be interested in ever watching that? And he said, oh yeah, I would. He said, it looks really interesting. So I asked him, and we're going to get it tonight. I told him it's nice. I mean, Redbox doesn't have the best selection, but it eventually has like all kinds of great new movies. It's just you have to, a lot of times they're out, you know, because you only want to go in your local area to get it. And I told him, you know, when I was living with my mom, it was over a mile for me to return the movie, get the movie, and a lot of times I would wind up, especially in this, if it was winter and cold and whatnot, I'd be like, okay, well, it's only $1 something, but it adds up if you go day after day. You know, that's how they make their money. Sure, they only charge $1.29, but people think, oh, it's $1.29, I don't feel like returning it, the next day, and then it all adds up, you know. And in my case, since I didn't have a car, it was like, all right, do I want to walk a mile to the store, and it's storming out, do I want to walk a mile to the store and a mile back for $1.29, or rather pay the $1.29 again, you know, or $1.28, and, you know, but then at one point I'd be like, this is ridiculous. It's the principle of the thing now. I'm not going to pay, I need to return this movie, you know. I'm not going to pay a total of like $6 for this movie that, you know, I was at the 5th day and I was like, I have to return this movie no matter what kind of weather it's out. No matter how much I don't feel like walking to the store, I have to return the goddamn movie because I don't feel like paying this much for a movie on principle alone. I didn't even like the movie that much, you know. I remember when my mom went to the store with the elderly bus or whatnot and things like that, or if she was going to church, then if I finagled it that way, I could get the movie Redbox for us and I wouldn't have to. You know, she could return it, you know. She could ask Marion, can I drop this movie off quickly at the store? Or before my aunt died, the other aunt, the good one, you know, the same thing. Can we just drop this? It was on the way, you know, so it wasn't out of her way or out of Marion's way, you know. But now, like I told them, you have a car and, you know, you go places all the time, every day, and you go to work, you go here, you go there, you go visiting friends or family, you know. I never have to worry about paying more than $1.29, so, you know. So anyway, make a long story short, we're going to watch Dallas Buyers Club tonight. I don't know if I'll drink. I haven't decided yet. Probably not. Who knows? I might. So I talked with my buddy, you know, my long-time buddy, who he and I have both changed, both grown, both started off smart and aware, and now we're just more so, because the world's going to hell in a handbasket, to be blunt. But he and I can never be together. That's when I want even though I recognize that it's all bullshit, I still want it. See? I recognize that it's all bullshit, that it's just superficial crap to get me, to get you through the day, to fun, whatever, but I still love all of that, and he's rejected it all. I go to Wonderwall all the time. I like reading about the stars. I like to look good. I like to show off. I like that, and he doesn't, so. But that's that one side of me. The other side of me, he and I click 100%, the deep, aware, intelligent, etc., side, sensitive, all that, he and I click 100%, and he was, when I told him last night, I'm happy here, I'm just not happy because of my mother, what's going on with my mother, she's like, he's blunt with me, he's my friend, he's brilliant, and he's extremely spiritual without being, rigid, organized religion type. He used to be that a long time ago. He's grown, he's changed over the past 20 years, thankfully so. Because I was never the organized religious type, not since I was a young grade school, But when I mentioned my mom, he's like, and how I'm happy here, and I get along with my roommate, and it's, he's like, and then I'm telling him, no, but it's tainted. I didn't use that word, but it could have. I said, but, because of my mom and everything, I'm never happy, or it's always, and he's like, he's blunt, he's like, it's too late for your mother, Laura. Of course, I don't want to hear that. I said, please, I don't want to talk about my mom. Please, Joe, please, I'll start crying. I can't deal with this, As he said before, she's on the hamster wheel of Big Pharma. They've had their clutches in her forever, and now that she's this old and approaching 70, and, married and won. But she's not gonna win without, you know what I mean? I slow and steady. I have plans. I have, she's not gonna win and be invisible. You know what I mean? She may win, but she's not gonna get away with it without, I'm going to tell people, I'm going to write to my mom's friends and my family members who aren't, they meet the cousins of my cousins, or the daughters of the dead aunt, the ones who are totally just, Marion's not going to get away with this just like she would want to by, without me defending myself or telling my side, or, she's not going to get away with it. She thinks she is, because she thinks I'm just this mentally ill loser, as she wrote in the text. You're a pathetic excuse for a person loser, okay? The text she sent to me after she found the condition of my mother's house, that she's of course going to blame on me because she can conveniently do it, because I'm not there to defend myself to anybody she lies through her teeth to in regards to me. Yeah, he's blunt. It's too late for your mother, Laura. You have to, like you said before, you get caught up in all of this, you're not going to be open to any of the blessings that might come your way in this life, But she's my mother, and she's been there for me, and I feel so bad for her, and I can't let it go. I can't. I can only do what I can do, but I can do something, And Cheryl shocked me yesterday when I'm bitching about saying, I think my mom's social worker is intentionally not, and Cheryl's like, of course she is, because she said to me, just have her call the hospital, and I said, she knows damn well if I call the hospital, because of the HIPAA law, she pulled that shit with me in regards to her own self with the HIPAA law. Of course she knows how. Cheryl's like, yeah, I know, she's just deflecting. Yeah, no shit, she's deflecting. And I'm like, well, what can I do? And Cheryl's like, you know what, Laura, you should write to your state congressman, your senator, your whatever. Let them know. You're not the only one in this position where the HIPAA law fucks over family members, maybe, and you should let them know. And I'm like, they're not going to care. And she's like, you'd be surprised. She's like, it won't happen instantly, but maybe, maybe things will change if enough people contact them, the state congressman, senator, and whatnot. And then I said, well, what about going to the press? Should I go to the press? She's like, sure, why not? What can it hurt? It can't hurt. You're trying, She's totally supported me on that. So that's where it stands now. My friend and I are so grateful that he's still part of me, part of my life, part of I'm so grateful. He's aware of way more even than I am, and he tells it like it is, and he teaches me things, and will I elaborate? Of course not. No. You don't get to know how I really feel about this world. I'll hint around at things, but anyway, I'll end with this, because he was out, and I called him asked him, because I have to put it on hold if I can find it locally. If you would like to watch the Dallas Buyers, watch Dallas Buyers Club with me. And of course, you don't know. I don't know him. I don't know if he would want to watch that kind of movie, and a lot of people wouldn't, That's not... I don't try to shove my beliefs down anybody's throat, but I expect the same consideration. Because I said to my friend last night, he said, well, what's your roommate like? And I told him a little bit. And he's like, how old is he? I'm like, he's around my age. And Joe's like, oh, would there be any romance blooming? He was teasing me. I'm like, I instantly cut him off. I'm like, no. I can get along with anybody, but, I don't have anything in common with him. Believe me, I don't. I'm not going to reveal anything about him either, but no, I don't. Just in my lifestyle and in my way of my organic, non-GMO, healthy living viewpoint, I don't have anything in common with this guy or with most people, men and women, because most people are not following that, and I'm trying very hard to follow it. Do I cheat occasionally? Yeah, I told you he gets this lemon cake that's out of this world, and I break my only organic, only non-GMO rule for that lemon cake. But I'm mostly following it. And I'm sure I could never be with any guy who wasn't following that. It just wouldn't work out. But I'm not looking to be with any guy anyway. What am I looking for? I already told you. I'm looking for a FB. A fuck buddy, a friend with benefits, or whatever. And that kind of person, you don't have to have everything in common. You know, you don't, like you would with a boyfriend or something, you know. You don't have to, you know. Who cares if we don't eat the same things? You know, we're not going on little dinner dates and things like that, you know. I don't care to go out on dinner dates anyway with anybody, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? So, I keep my dating website profiles open, but it's all a joke to me. It's all it is. Like I said, every once in a while I was interested in some guy. He sparked my interest a bit. I was attracted to him. He passed my initial attractiveness factor, you know, that I was attracted to him. You know, I told you at least my height of 5'9" and bare feet. So since people lie about their heights, you know, he's got to be at least, you know, 5'10", probably preferably 5'11". But in any case, and not significantly overweight and no facial hair to speak of. And once he passes that, I told you a lot of times I've turned the men off with my brain, with my mind, with things where I test people. Why am I not going to test people if you can't deal with this teeny little aspect of me? You'd never be able to deal with this much, you know. So even as an FWB, a fuck buddy, whatever. So, but the organic non-GMO, my friends don't have to follow that. You can still be friends with someone who doesn't follow that. And you can still be friends with benefits with somebody who doesn't follow that. But when it gets down to boyfriend, girlfriend, and all that, well, yeah, that gets kind of a little difficult, you know. It's a little different. And then Joe, and when I was staying with him, he was talking about his own self or whatnot, you know, because he's been following that kind of lifestyle for even more, you know, for like a long time now. Years and years, okay? I only started less than a year ago. Just a little over 6 months ago, you know. But he said, well, you know, there are dating websites that only have men and women who are into that kind of lifestyle. And I'm like, yeah, I'm aware of that. That gets into the split personality, though, see? I'm not necessarily going to have anything in common with you just because you follow my non-GMO organic kind of lifestyle that I'm just at the very tentative beginnings of following, you know? So and remember, I have the intense sexuality too. I have the kinkiness in me, and I have the, you know, I'm not necessarily gonna want to be with somebody who follows my non-GMO organic kind of lifestyle, you know. I want to follow it, but I'm not necessarily gonna want to be fuck buddies, FWB, with a guy who follows that, you know. So it's a tricky, slippery slope. It's a balance. I don't know. It's like Chatty K saying about, and, you know, gotta be somebody for me, and maybe there's not, but, you know, he found his somebody in Avril, so because she finally got married, right? Finally got married. he led Marianne on for all those years and then dumped her, and he was with Kristen and with others, but he finally bit the bullet, so she must be the one for him, right? Anyway. It's okay. But like I kind of, without getting in too deep with my friend, when I was staying with him, when he said, well, there are sites that have only this and only men and women who believe in this. Like, yeah, well, I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I am mature and self-aware enough to realize that I just am not at that level. I want to be touched, I want to be held, I want to play around, but I want to do it 100% safely. I've changed in that respect. But my friends, lovers, do not have to follow my organic, non-GMO regimen, philosophy, or viewpoint, or whatever, They don't. It's just food. Food doesn't have to be so important that, I'm personally doing this with the supplements and the vitamins and the this and the that because I want to. Food is not the be-all and end-all in a friendship or a sexual relationship or a friend with benefit thing, It doesn't. Why should it have to be? It doesn't. It only has to be with people who are doing the traditional dating, and we have to go out on a dinner date, or if you move in with someone, of course, then you kind of have to have the same, be eating the same or whatnot, or if you're in the traditional thing where the woman's going to cook for her man, and then it would be really difficult to be with a guy who didn't follow my non-GMO organic lifestyle. But I'm not looking for any of that. I'm at a point where I'm just I'm looking just to have some fun again, just to not be alone, just to be touched, be held. Obviously, that I told you, the cigarettes matter. I'm allergic to cigarettes. I will never be with anybody who smokes cigarettes. And when he was teasing me last night, is there some romance? No, he smokes cigarettes. Wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter how much I had in common with him. He smokes cigarettes. That's the end. I won't be with anybody who smokes cigarettes. Nobody. There's no compromise. There's nothing. I can't stand cigarette smoke, period. Okay? Can't stand cigarette smoke, period. And just as an aside, even he was telling me, tobacco itself, or if is not, cigarettes used to be not as bad, and tobacco itself is not, organic tobacco itself is not that bad. The tobacco companies are intentionally putting things into cigarettes designed to addict people, like it's heroin or something. Cigarettes are designed to make people addicted to them. They're pure poison. Alcohol is poison, but at least alcohol, like I said to him, alcohol is just, nothing's added, you know what I mean? It's fermented fruits and vegetables and grains and whatnot. Cigarettes are designed to addict you to them. They are pure poison, and they're designed so that you can never wean yourself away from them. They're designed to poison you, and they are designed, they put things, so many awful things for you in cigarettes. It's mind-blowing, okay? Because I was saying, I don't, And he was like, what do you mean he smoked? I said, not in the house. That was right in my ad. Remember, I had an ad on Craigslist. My pug dog and I are looking for a new place to stay, okay? And I put right in the ad, you cannot smoke in the house. I didn't say you can't smoke, period. Smoke cigarettes, period. You can't smoke in the house. Nobody can smoke in the house, so, period. You can't smoke in the house, okay? And he was like, yeah, now, especially nowadays, you don't even want secondhand smoke. Cigarettes are poison. They are horrible for you. They age you. They poison you. They addict you. Okay, you become addicted to them. I would never be with anyone who smokes cigarettes. Never, ever, 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 ever. I wouldn't, period. There's no end of discussion, okay? I wouldn't even want to be with someone who smokes a pipe because I don't like that smell either. And we won't get into, what I've talked about before, because even though I'm not interested in doing that, in moderation, I mean, it's, you know what I'm talking about. The other thing that's legal in certain states, and, and legal if you, purchase it legally. Like I said, I'm not, doesn't really even do anything for me, but that's neither here nor there. If somebody did that, as long as they weren't addicted to it, if it was just an occasional recreational thing, that wouldn't faze me, But cigarettes, no. No. It was a bone of contention with my ex-friend from the shelter that she smoked cigarettes and she smoked them around me, and I was breathing it in and I didn't like it, but, I wanted a friend. It was nice to have a friend, but in the end, it was just, we were not compatible enough to be friends. I'll leave it like that. I'll leave you. First thing Monday morning, I'll call Cheryl again. I'll tell her, I'll say, my mom's social worker, so-and-so didn't tell you the whole truth. I don't know if she wasn't told the whole truth or whatnot, but my mom's either not at that hospital or you were given the runaround. And remember, they know that Cheryl's talking to me. The social worker might, for whatever reason, give Cheryl the runaround. I don't know. But I'll let her know anyway. I called up, said, connect me to that unit, and there is no such unit, what? And then by the time I called Cheryl at work, she was already gone, unfortunately. She left early, so. That's where we stand. I didn't go for my hour-long walk with Omar yesterday because it never even reached. I'm waiting for it to be nice every day. It didn't even get to the 50s. It was only in the 40s or low 40s, and it was icky out. And then I was still going to go just dress warmer, and then it looked like it was going to rain. And so, but 3 days in a row. He still went his 3 poo-poos outside though. I've been really good. I've been so good taking him out. I haven't even seen pee in the house lately because I take him out, and there's been no poo-poo in the house for the last few days. 3 days in a row. There was 4 days in a row. 3 poo-poos outside. He's never done more than 3 poo-poos in it. 3 sets of poo-poos in a day. So we're good once he does his 3rd poo-poo. And 3 days in a row. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We went for an hour-long walk, so he did his poo-poo then, and then yesterday there was no hour-long walk, but I took him out, and he did his 3rd poo-poo, so I was happy, soon as it's warm out every day, at least in the 50s, I'll be walking, and as soon as I get my sneakers, either exchange those $200 worth of 2 pairs of New Balance sneakers for an expensive pair of sneakers that they fit me with somewhere, you know. Remember, I bought those New Balance online, but I didn't buy them from New Balance. I bought them from a place that sells all different brands of sneakers and shoes. Bought them from online shoes. Or I decide not to do that and just to break those one or both of those pairs of sneakers in once I have a good pair of sneakers, because right now I have crappy ones that I have to be very careful. Then I'll be taking his dog for a walk. But in any case, once it starts to get warm out, new sneakers or not, I'll be taking Omar every day for a walk. My mother's never out of my heart or mind. How can she be? How can she be? She might be committed. She might be, you know, she's never out of my heart or mind. I'm doing the best I can to at least not have what Marion wants, which is for my mother to forget she ever had a daughter, me to forget I ever had a mother, you know, and just me to be permanently separated from my mother. That's what Marion wants. I'm fighting tooth and nail for that to not happen. But besides, other than that, I mean, my mother's never out of my heart or mind, but I still have to live, you know? I still have to live. I still... like all of you, all of us, you know, until I'm dead, I have to live. And my mom did get to live her life. It's not like she's, you know, having this happen to her when she's 20 or 30. She's approaching 70, you know. Fuck, I really need to be held and touched again. How long have I been saying that? For a long time. But actually I made it happen, I told you twice. Via my, you know, if I never did the dating websites, even though I've only met 2 guys off of it, I've had potentials. I just told you, they were hot for me, I was hot for them, but, you know, I turned them off with my mind, I didn't care. You know. So I did make it happen. Finally made it happen where I got to be, you know, touched and held again. And I could have had a lot more, not with the first one. I never heard from him again, I told you, until stupid, foolish, ridiculous, pissed me off, you know, months and months later. Heard from him out of the blue, and I told him off, you know. But the other one really wanted to show me what I've been missing out on all these years sexually and whatnot. You know, he spelled it out in detail, but I didn't feel like he liked me for any other reason. And like I said, you don't, obviously if I'm looking for an FWB, you don't have to, you're not in love with me, I'm not in love with you, but you are not, you have to like me a little bit. There's still friend in FWB, you know. I can't just think you just, after sex, you just want me for my body and looks, because in the end I won't be comfortable with you if you only like me because of that. I won't be able to enjoy it. I'll just be nervous, and I won't even enjoy it at all if I don't feel like you like me at least a little bit.